Hi everybody, it's Marissa, Kissa Creations here on YouTube, or Flosstube as we like to call our little stitchy side of the YouTube universe. And this is a channel primarily about cross stitch. I am squeaking in at the exact 1 month mark from my last video. I've been meaning to come back to you, and I am here. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for returning if you are a returning viewer, and if you're new here, I hope you see something that you love and that you decide to stick around. Since we are in October, today is Friday, October 18th, if I didn't say that already. Since we are in October, I thought I would start the video by showing off some of my spooky stitches that live around the house. Just because they're all out when we set up all of our like little Halloween decor. The stitches all come out with that too. There are a couple I will show you that live in my craft room year round, but most of them, like the pillows and stuff, they just come out for Halloween. And I think that makes me feel better about having made them into pillows, because I feel like they don't get as much wear and tear on the couch as they normally would. We don't have like a sitting room and then a family room. We just have one room that has couches on it, so we're on them all the time. And I have littles, so any pillow that gets used. Like any pillow that's out, it's a pillow. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or not, we're gonna lay on it. So I will start with the two that I keep out year round. And so this one right here is from Prairie Moon. This is Niwala ceremonial rug. And Niwala is Halloween backwards. And it's charted with black and then I think like orange as the accent color. But I used Island Blue. And I don't remember who that's from, if it's Color and Cotton or Gentle Arts. It's one of the two. Or not Color and Cotton, excuse me. Not Crescent Colors, Classic Colorworks. I think it's Gentle Arts though. But I love this. I love this stitch. I actually might still have this pattern laying around somewhere. I'll have to look and see. And it's just in a frame from Michaels. And then in a coordinating frame from Michaels, I also have, so this is Prairie Moon. I have Prairie Schooler. This is Hocus Pocus. And this is not as charted. It's charted in dark brown, I think like 3371, I want to say. And then an orange. I used Weeks Dye Works Purple Majesty. And I moved a lot of the blocks around, including taking some I think that are like on the back of the pattern and moving them to the front, which I think is this bat right here. But in all honesty, I'm not positive anymore at this point. But definitely that gaze crystal ball doesn't live in the middle, I don't think, on the original. It either lives in the top center or bottom center. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I don't know why we're not. But anyways, I love this one so much. I love this black cat. But change it to what you want, folks. Change those patterns. So these two, they live in their corresponding frames in my craft room year round, and I love them. And I will look for that Niwala pattern. So, funny story, I think it was Steph from Just Keep Stitching. She was like, I don't know what that means. And I was like, oh, I know what it means, because I looked it up to make sure that it wasn't like when you say ceremonial rug, I'm thinking like, okay, are they like playing on like Native American? Like, I probably should look this up before I decide that I really want to stitch it, if I have to say this over and over again. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't offensive, and then I finally realized that it was Halloween backwards. And so I think I got to share that with Stephanie too, because she was confused and she was like, I don't know what this means. And I was like, it's just Halloween backwards. So Niwala ceremonial rug is Halloween backwards. In addition to those pieces, I've got some pillows hanging around my house. So I have a Ouija board, and I think this is the Clouds Factory Ouija board. And it's stitched on, picture this plus, I think, Ale, and it's Aida. And then I just sewed up, it doesn't come out. It's gonna live in this pillowcase forever. And I actually did a pretty good job because I can't tell you, oh, here it is. But I did a decent job. You can't really see where the seam is. And then it was just a pillow that was actually this exact size that I found at like Joann's, I think. But so that lives on the couch during this season. And then I also have things that go bump. This is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm going to show you another pattern from that magazine today. That's why it's all here, but it's from this one. So 2014. It's from the 2014, and it is on an orange Aida from, oh, I don't remember what their name is. Mosale. It's from Mosale. And it's just black, black DMC. And there's a couple, like, this is kind of like satiny stitch in one of these, and then there's also, I think I stitched them wrong. I think they were supposed to just be crosses, and I made them into Algerian eyelets. So there's Algerian eyelets on mine that go all the way around here and here, and then there's also these little satiny stitches in here. But I actually really adore this one, and it lives on the couch during Halloween. And then this is an oldie but goodie from my design stash. So it says "You say witch like it's a bad thing." It's actually still available in my shop. I haven't taken it out yet. Super simple stitch. This little, it makes funny noise because it's stuffed with plastic bags from when those used to exist at the grocery store. And then another one from my shop is witch shoes. Witch shoes. I love this one. And this frame, I will see if it's still available. I think it's Laura Ashley. I got it off of Amazon, but it felt like it was appropriately spooky for the season. All right, so previous stitches. Oh, I got one more previous stitch because I have an FFO. So this is the first cross stitch project that I ever did. I bought it when it came out, after my daughter was born, when I realized that I couldn't quilt anymore at the moment because it was too much taking stuff out and putting things away, but I needed a crafty outlet that I could pick up and put down at will. And so I ended up picking up cross stitch, and I found my friend Shannon. She posted that she was doing this project, and it's adorable. And I decided I would stitch it to hang in my daughter's room. And so now it will finally go there because it is in a frame. I found a frame at Goodwill, and it is Frosted Pumpkins, a pumpkin passport. And it is on 14 count oatmeal Aida. So fun story, the kit, so I ordered the kit, but I couldn't wait. And they said back then, when you ordered the kit, I think you also got a digital version of the pattern. And so I had the pattern already, and I could not wait to start it. And so I went and found this Aida that I felt was appropriate and got a couple of the colors and waited. Because back then, like, I didn't even know where, because this is Fancy Floss. I think this is like a Gentle Arts. You can't really tell, but I don't think I even like knew where to get Fancy Floss from. And so I ordered the kit to make sure that I would have it and make sure that I would have all the colors. And then this is the fabric that this was supposed to be on. And so then I found a new use for it. So, but it's all finished up. It actually, the picture, so it's one of those frames that like has the metal fasteners. The wire was like already on there. I like finagled it so that I could just keep the wire where it was. The picture that is in here was mounted already on foam core. So I just pinned it all to the foam core. I'm a little bit wishing that I would have added some batting to give it a little fluff, but it still, I think, looks great. It says, "Let's go on an adventure." And that was the year that Clouds Factory and Frosted Pumpkin both released like a world travel passport thing as their stitch along, which was wild. And then I think they did sort of similar stuff one other year too, but yeah. So there's my like 2000 and what's the date on here? I think I did date it. Did I date it? I thought I saw my initials somewhere on there with a date, but perhaps not. Oh yeah. So I finished it in 2019, MN 2019. It's like in the grass, hidden like way down here. I finished it in 2019. I started it in the end of 2015. And yeah, first ever project. Finally done, on the wall, ready to go. This one's been waiting for a long time. When I found this frame, so I started traveling to the thrift store with a list of all of my finished projects. So what the project is and what the size is and a measuring tape. And so I was finding that I had been bringing home a lot of frames that I didn't necessarily need to be bringing home. And so we have quite a little storage of frames in our basement right now, thanks to my frame buying at Goodwill. But I'm sure I will find use for them at some point. But so now I'm traveling with a list so that I can be a little bit more intentional. But this, I love this like rose, it's almost like a rose gold. The picture that was in here, like rose gold, I feel like is trendy now. The picture that was in here was a like aerial view of a Florida, I should have taken a picture of a Florida coastal hotel. It had to be from like the 70s. I mean, they took that picture from a helicopter or something. And yeah, but it just, it works. So it works. It's cute. I love it. Okay. So that was really exciting to get that into a frame. Okay, let's talk Long Dog for a second. Ugh, wiggle woggle. Okay, let's talk Long Dog for a second. I, in my last video, did my whole shebang about Long Dogs and said that I was going to give away Bienvenue. I had quite a few of you enter, which was lovely, and I'm so excited to pass this along. And I just did the draw right before I started filming. And I feel like I'm, let's see, turn my brightness down for you. Hopefully this will work. All right, and the winner is Danica. So there's the username. And her comment was, "So fun to see all of the Long Dogs. I have Sewn Spot, Butte Spot, and Crossword in my stash to stitch. I would love to stitch Bienvenue." So we're adding another stash, Long Dog stash member for you. So I'm so excited. If you can message me, DM me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is the same, Kissa Creations, and let me know where I can send this and I will get it sent off to you. Congratulations, it's very exciting. And then let's talk Long Dog some more. I did it, you guys. I finished it. So I told you before that my husband and I got married on 9/10/11, which is like a super fun date. We also got engaged on 10/10/10, which is another super fun date. So I finished this on 10/10/24. So I am done with Long Dogs the Token. Oh. And there she is in all her glory. And I'm going to kind of come close up for, sorry, it's just sliding, for the initials. And then also, am I holding this upside down? Oh my God, I'm not showing it off. Look at it, it's upside down. All right, here, let's try that again. All right, I am done with Long Dogs the Token. Here it is, right side up. I was so excited. It was upside down. I'm having trouble ironing it. If any of you have any tips on how to get wrinkles out of linen while not making your hand-dyed silks bleed or burn, please let me know. I would love to hear. All right, so now let's go in a little bit. There's the birds and our wedding date, but just look at that variegation. As someone else had changed this elephant block out, but I really like it. I like this top portion right here. Like, I like how it is just overarching and beautiful. There were some weird, in the chart on this one, there were some asymmetrical stitches to this side of it. I changed them and made them symmetrical. I don't know if it was on purpose on her end or on accident, but I wanted it to be symmetrical, so I made that adjustment. But either, I mean, it would have been nice either way. It doesn't matter, but look at it. Yeah, there's the date, and then there's our initials. And look at that bee and all the back stitch in this one. I maybe sort of hated it at the time, but I really love how it looks. But just overall, I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of this one, and it's like my second big finish of the year that is like a project that's been like languishing for a long time, and I still have more that like, I like big projects. I finish my little projects, so my larger projects hang on for a long time. And but this year I finished 2 really big ones that were like at some of the oldest on my list. So I am really excited to have this all the way completed and to have finished it on the anniversary of our engagement. I just think it was so great. So anyways, that's done. You guys aren't gonna see it again until it gets framed, which will hopefully happen soon. Again, I'm gonna put these new measurements into my list that I bring thrift shopping, and hopefully I will be able to find something perfect. How many different videos can have the same thumbnail of the same project? I'm like, please be that thumbnail. Actually, maybe we'll do the next one. All right, so let's do a little reset on the camera. If I don't do the resets on the camera, then they happen in spots that I don't want them to, or I keep talking past and like don't see that the little red light has turned off. And then that is uber frustrating. All right, in this month, so I am still a little bit of life. I am still working 2 jobs. My secondary job ends on Monday. So I have 3 more shifts, kind of cramming them in at the end. It's a seasonal hotel, and so our last night of service is the 24th. I am not working past Monday unless somebody like drops a shift and I can pick it up for some extra cash. So we're done. I have been really trying hard to squeeze some stitching time in because last month I really didn't, and I felt it. I felt like I crammed like all of my monthly stitching into 1 week of stitching, and it wasn't as enjoyable because I felt like I was just trying to like make sure that I have content or make sure that I have stuff done, and like that's not fun. So I was like really trying to like decompress with stitching or decompress with Flosstube, and really trying to like enjoy that part of life. Oh, one more personal thing before I show you my whips. So amongst that, like in that time when I was like all stressy and like not feeling like I was stitching a lot and not feeling like I was getting stuff done, I mean, I knew this was coming, but I didn't know when. And I got a text message, and I didn't tell a ton of people. Like I told my like best stitchy buds, but not a lot of people knew. Anyways, I got a message from Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe in like, I think I was in bed. It was like, it was late because she and I she's Oklahoma and I'm in Maine. So it's like a big time difference. But I think I had just gotten home from work, and she was like, amazing stocking. And I was like, wait, what? It exists? So she gets in the Libby app, the Just Cross Stitch magazine. And so like nobody had really like seen it yet. So I was like, can you send me the pages? Like I want to see what it looks like. So she sent me the stuff, and she was like, oh, so cute. And I just like laid in bed blushing by myself because I couldn't even, like my husband was asleep and I didn't want to wake him up because he had like kid duty in the morning. So anyways, I have a design in the new Christmas issue. It's not an ornament issue this year. It is a special holiday issue. So I don't know if they just didn't get enough ornaments or what the deal was with that, but that's what it looks like this year. I feel like it has less projects in it too. I don't know if they're just not getting a lot of people to submit, but I had a very enjoyable experience submitting, and this is the stocking that I submitted for there. It says Let It Snow. It's a little bit better on the colors. If I did it again, I actually might do it on an even darker, like more gingerbready type fabric. I did this on Vintage Country Mocha. I love how delicate it looks, but it's definitely delicate. It looks amazing in person. The photography on it, even in the magazine, not super amazing. And even, like I said, on the video, like when I hold it way back here, like, can you even see that it says anything? But in person, these colors do pop. I think they would pop better even on a darker fabric. And then someone did one. I'm so sorry that I don't remember who did it. But she did it like almost on a fabric like this. With like the turquoisey color too. And then also some purple, and it looks beautiful. I feel like that any colors in that like icy frozen world would just like be amazing. You could do it on blue with white. So if you stitch this, please tag me like if you show it in your YouTube video, please tag me. If you show it on Instagram, please tag me. I want to see all the different ways that this turns out. I definitely will share on Instagram, and I might just keep like a collection of everybody who does it as like part of my little like brag book, because it makes me so happy to like see my design being stitched by others. And thank you to all of my friends who have shouted me out so far, who have shown it off. Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, her reaction was the best. I like literally showed my husband her video when he came home, or that portion of it, because I was like, look at, watch her see that it's mine. And it just like, it made me like well up. I was like so excited. So thank you, Beth, for being real in your flip through. It just, it made my heart happy. Okay, let me show you what else I've been working on. Again, thank you for your support. Hopefully we've got some more designs coming. But again, like that's not what this is all about. This Flosstube is about sharing stitching and how happy it makes me. That sharing my stitching in that way makes me extra happy. Yeah, so thank you. Okay, so more spooky stitching. Where did I put that magazine? Where did I put this spooky magazine? All right, so again, we're going back to 2014. Special collectors, just cross stitch Halloween. So that is where the black work pumpkins are that I did on orange. But it is also where this Midnight Ride lives. And I brought this, I like stitch 10 stitches on this every year. I say 10, but it's more than that, but it always just feels like 10. I actually got a good chunk done this year. But this is where I am. I finally added in that yellow, and that yellow is Moe's Sale Sunflower. So I'm going to use this for the moon also, but is what I used for the lights on the houses. But I got like from the tower over done and then added all of the yellow. And this is on fabric I dyed myself. It is 32 count linen, dyed with blue, pearl gray, and purple. And I wish that I could make it happen again. I'm sure I can, and I should try, but that is where that is right now. I don't know if I'm going to stitch on it more before the end of the month. I might, because it's still spooky time, and that's really like, kind of like one of the few spooky stitches that I have going. Although this other one is also kind of spooky. If you have a bug thing, like you don't like them and they give you the ick, just don't watch for a minute. Look at your stitching, do whatever you're gonna do. So this is Snug as a Bug. This is from Clouds Factory. This is like an anti-Clouds Factory pattern. I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I just feel like a lot of their patterns are very cutesy, and for a while a lot of them had people in them. This is meant, it's meant to be a pillow, but it is shown in a frame. And actually it's not even like the stitched version shown in the frame, it's like the computer rendering. But I'm gonna get really close for a minute because I've been working on something in there. So I don't know if you can even see it in this, but like surrounding the bugs, there's like these, it's like a flowery honeycomb, I guess is the best way that I can refer to it. And it calls for the backstitch to be backstitched in a shade, like one shade darker than your fabric, which the effect is so cool. It is a beast to do. So the part, let's see, I guess I should take this out because I would like to show you where I did that work and what it looks like. So we're just gonna undo this, and I haven't decided again if I'm gonna continue working on this or not, but this is where we were. Okay, so this is when I'm gonna stand up and show you again. Okay, so like look at how cool that looks right there. But it's so hard to stitch, and then like even, I don't know, it's gonna be one of those things that you do have to look at it close up to really see it. But I do like how it looks. Anyways, so I stitched in this setting, I stitched this, and I stitched this beetle up here, and then I got started on some more of the back stitch work that's on there. How cool is he? Not in my garden, he's not cool. I think that is like the type of beetle that decimated our peppers this year, which made me sad. Look how pretty that moth is too. This is just an amazing pattern that I every time I bring it out, I say the same thing, is that I haven't seen anybody else stitching it. And at one point I wanted to start a stitch along for bug stuff, but I'm not good at stitch alongs. The way that I stitch is like I will just like randomly pick out a project, and like that's what I'm going to be stitching on this week. I'm not good at the like, let's stitch this together and do it. I do like when other people do sals that like force me to pull something out. Like the Let Your Lighthouse Shine sal was great because it made me work on Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. So sometimes I like to have the inspiration to pull something out, but usually like I just pull it out, get a couple days on it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not into this at the moment. I don't know, my stitching attention span can be a little rough sometimes. But then I had a bunch of stuff, so it's the beginning of the school year, everything's crazy, so we've been running around, and so I've been going to, and like now we have another kid going into orthodontist stuff. So I had some dentist appointment stitching, or some orthodontist appointment stitching, and I had some swim practice stitching, and so I wanted something that I didn't have to pay a ton of attention, like that wasn't like super intricate. So I brought with me to both of those things Works by ABC 324. I am stitching the 324 colors of DMC, and I got a lot done actually. So I did all of these, and like I think like a good chunk down here too. I'm like missing some colors. I need to figure out if I'm going to go shopping for those or not. But I have now made it all the way across, which is exciting, except for this missing one right here. But yeah, I think we're still going to be in a good spot. I think that's, I want to still work on this one. I'm seeing some of my stitching friends shortly, so I think I'm going to try to make a little list of the colors that I am missing and just ask people to bring a couple of strands for me so that I don't have to go out and buy a bunch of DMC, because I'm trying not to be spendy still. We've been doing a really good job. I don't want to push it over the edge. Okay. I also, finishing a long dog made me still want to be working on a long dog. So I have continued to work on Fish and Ships. This is stitched with a Silks4U silk. Of all the projects I'm working on, all of the details will be in the description box below. I always move, I keep like a running list with all of my details of all of my stitches, and I will move all of those details for any project that I show in the video. You will be able to see down below, so it'll have the flosses. So like that Silks4U that I used for the token, I get so many questions on that. I'm always happy to answer. But if you are ever like, oh my gosh, I don't know where she answered that question or where it told her, come back to my YouTube videos, and in the description box of my YouTube videos, you will always find, especially for Silks4U, the PR whatever number it is, it'll be down there. You'll usually find my fabrics down there as long as I know what it is. Some of my projects again are older, and so I didn't keep as good track of stuff like that back then. And so some of the stuff has just gone by the wayside, but I'm trying to do it with less notes and trying to make sure I'm looking at you, although you're probably looking at your stitching, so it doesn't really matter. But I find if I get lost in my note cards, and so we're just doing this off the cuff today. But that's where you'll find all the information about my projects. If they're stitched with DMC, what fabric they're on. Like the bug one is stitched on a random piece of linen that I got from somewhere. I had a really generous viewer a long time back. So my video, this is very tangent-y, and this is what happens when there's no notes, I guess. And I will show you Fish and Ships in just a moment. I've actually been making Flosstube videos for a long time. I have been making Flosstube videos since 2016, I think. Definitely since 2017, because I had a really old one where I had like my little second born baby like laying in her fluffy elephant cuddly thing back here. Not at this house. This was in California. And then When we moved to Maine, I just like wiped out my whole Flosstube channel, which was probably really dumb according to the YouTube algorithm. And it's probably why, even though I've been making videos for a super long time, that like my subscriber count is fairly low, and none of that matters in the long run. I like sharing my stitching with you. That is what I'm here for. But back in the day, when I was still in California, I had a very generous viewer. I had mentioned that I didn't have a lot of stitching supplies in the beginning. She sent me a huge box of fabric. She sent me some fancy flosses in there. She sent me a bunch of stuff. And so I had a nice little stash that I still work from and pull from this to this day. There's not a ton of fancy fabric in there. Most of it's like 30-ish count and 32 count, which I tend to stitch a little bit higher count nowadays. But some stuff like that bug one is definitely from that stash. And that I'm stitching 2/2 on, I think it's 32 count, just based on like how tight the X's are. I absolutely love how they look on there. That is one of my favorites. But the generosity of that stitcher to reach out back in the day when I really had nothing just was like such a big thing for me. And that's why I like to give away my patterns when I'm done, because sometimes we just like, you can only buy so much. Well, I can only buy so much, and some of you can only buy so much. Some people can buy everything. But for me, there's a limit. And so if I can share something and pay $3 in postage for you to get this thing that you want to stitch, I am here for that. All right. So long story long, fish and chips, long dog. I am working from the bottom right, and this is where it's at. I probably should have taken my grime guard off so that this wouldn't be as like glary. Let's see, maybe it's like way over to the corner. But I did all the bottom of this boat, the ship. Let's see. I did the ship and these sails. I did these the other night on Google Meets video with my Tuesday night peoples. Got all the way up to the top, which of this ship. That was exciting. But yeah, this water is done. Goes to right here. I got this ship done. I think I went up a little bit higher on the border, trying to add like a little bit of like boring border stuff, and then kind of working into that at the same time. Sort of makes life better. So those are all of the projects I've worked on. I have one acquisition, and it's not really even, it's not technically stitching, but it kind of is. I went to Martens. I just dropped a bunch of stuff on the floor. I went to Martens because I have on my like little shelf back here, I have like my tomato pin cushions and stuff. Oh, and a stitch from Missy from 2 Needles Pulling Thread. She had me for one of our exchanges that we did, which like this, well, this is painted by my children, or colored by my children. This is from Missy. This is very not her. And she slogged through it and stitched it for me. It's beautiful. I think it's an Erin Elizabeth Designs. It's really cute. It just lives here all year round, doesn't matter what holiday it is. The girls just, oh, there's my bugs. More bugs. But yeah, I have like my little tomato pincushion collection lives there. So I really have been wanting to finish up all of the, I have a bunch of little stitches, a bunch of smalls that I've done that are like tomato pincushiony to go with my collection. And I needed some backing fabric, and I went to Martens in Quest and I found exactly what I needed. So look at how stinking cute this is. It's showing up a little bit brighter red. It's a little bit more of a primitive red, kind of in between, not that like, I would call this like more strawberry. It's a little bit more red delicious. if we're gonna go with foods. But look at all the cute little stuff on there. There's bobbins, there's floss, there's a seam ripper, the measuring tape, a package of needles, scissors. Oh, I love it. It's perfect. So, yay for Martens, because also it's like quilting quality fabric, and it was $5.99 for a yard. And like, that's amazing. So I did buy a whole yard of it. Probably should have bought more. Probably should be making a project bag out of it. Probably should be doing, I don't know, making a dress out of it. I flippin' love this so much. But yeah, they had, I think it in white too. And then they had a couple other corresponding fabrics that I just didn't even look at them because again, trying to be good in the super spendy department. And so I just kind of ran away from the pretty things. Let's see. Okay, so plans for before my next video. I am going to, I don't know what I'm going to work on. I would tell you what I'm going to work on, but we all know that when Marissa says she's going to do something, you might as well just throw it out the flipping window. So, I think that I'm just gonna like let it flow and let it feel, and we're gonna see where that takes us. I do want to get a couple of Christmassy things done. I have a bunch of Christmas patterns like in the works, and now that we're getting much closer to Halloween, like my brain is starting to shift into there, and I have Christmas stuff that needs to be stitched. And so I think I need to try to at least get a little bit done on some of those. I have Lizzie Kate's Christmas list that I started the top, like the free outside border on. I'm still collecting pieces for the inside of that. I think I have half of them. Of course, not the top one. So like, I'm gonna have to figure that out and either like count down or I don't know, try to do something. But I will figure that out. That is a problem for future Marissa. I also have Silver Creek samplers, my Christmas list. Lizzie Kate is Christmas rules, excuse me. Silver Creek sampler is my Christmas list. So, and then I think I have something. I finished the Caterpillar cross stitch Christmas listy thing last year. I really like the lists at Christmas time. Oh, I have Jack Frost's Tree Farm that I have been thinking about starting. Is that what it was called? It's like a bunch of different stitches. I think Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread is working on that one. So I might start that. I have to find a piece of fabric for it. And I don't know if I want to do it all in one piece or if I want to do a bunch of little pieces. And like, we don't really have a big area where we set stuff out. I'll show you our like Halloween display. Actually, I'm going to show you a Halloween thing really quick because you can do this if you want to do this, and it's really cool. My sister, I think, did these for me. But at Halloween time, they always have black flowers at Michael's. And so what she did was she bought these cheap little eyeballs that you can always find, and she glued them into the center. This is like such a cool Halloween craft. So she glued them into the center of the flowers. I just have them in a mason jar. I need to like put a cool bow on it. But I used my cool bow on my wreath, which I will insert a picture of the wreath that I made this year for our front door in here for you. Again, and I've said this many times, and you can tell by the stitching that I showed, in our house, we're very much like a Halloween. We're not a scary Halloween. We're like a jewel-toned Halloween house. And so Halloween is black and white stripes and purple and green. I would say like, we're a Tim Burton Halloween house. Like, if I could have like the snake on my banister with like that at the end, I would like do that. You know, from the original Beetlejuice, where the banister like turns into the snake, and then yeah. But anyways, so cool Halloween craft. Don't mind the skeletons, but you can just buy some black flowers and then buy the cheapy like ball, like they sell little balls, eyeballs, and just glue them into the middle of those. And I don't remember, I mean, we've had these for years, and I don't think I'm pretty sure she made these and didn't, but even if she didn't make them, you could easily make them because they always sell like, you can buy cheap eyeballs, balls. So many balls. Excuse me. I am 13. This is a cool Halloween craft. You could even do this with little kids, and then you can have eyeball flowers in your house. You don't even have to use black. I mean, I like the black because this is the spookiest Halloween decoration I think that we have. Everything else is just black, white, and bright purple. Some neon green. We like skeletons too. We have skeleton mermaids hanging in our window. They make really cool shadows on the wall in the afternoon. All right, happy Halloween if you celebrate, and I hope you have a lovely stitchy week, day, month, 2 months. I am planning to be back before then, hopefully with my new work schedule / lack of second job. I will be able to chat with you more often and show you more stitchy goodness. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again next time, and I will talk to you later. Bye.